computer. Okay. Well, we're recording. Good morning, everybody who's joining. We're still just adding a couple more people, but what we're talking about right now is social media and the different types of platforms and who's using them for what. And so LinkedIn, we were just saying, is probably the number one for social influencers, high-level business professionals. They're going to LinkedIn because they want content. People who are on Facebook are the most, I would say, they've spread the gamut with income and education, whereas LinkedIn, the highest group of users is the high level income and the high level education. Instagram, not surprisingly, is more middle of the road because you've got a lot more millennials and younger folks using it. When you go to the 65 plus, Instagram takes a dive. Not to say that they can't change, but it's not a surprise. But we have to know who's on what platform to know how to use the platform. So when we're going to talk about auto sharing things, you can post one time to 3 different sites, but I'm going to suggest you don't say the same thing. Because if I'm going to say something to Facebook users, personally, my Facebook, I'm putting in motivational stuff. I'm talking maybe about business stuff. I'm sharing some gratitudes. That's who's on my Facebook. But if I'm going to LinkedIn, I'm not putting that there. They don't want to see that. I'm going to put something about market stats. I'm going to talk about something interesting that's happening in the market, new trends that are coming up. That's who's looking, and the people who are actually liking and going onto my posts are there to get that information from me. And that's what we want. That's how you can really capitalize on who's on your social media, by making sure your content matches the people that are on that platform. So there's an acronym, it's called POST, right? So when you're posting, you have to be on purpose. How many people plan out your post? Beverly, good job. So what POST stands for is people. And that's, again, knowing who are you trying to reach, right? What is the purpose also of your post? Are you trying to get trust? Are you trying to build trust? Are you trying to get brand awareness? Are you trying to do some kind of incentive? What is the reason for this post? That's the first thing. Then you have to look at, I might pull it up. You have to look at the technology you're going to use, right? Am I going to put this in video format? Is it going to be a carousel? Again, visual will do 90% better than any other thing. So even if you don't have a video, make sure it's visually stimulating. Those blue screens and you can write the words, nobody really looks at that. Like, they don't ever do well. So and they do that because they're trying to add some color and some visual intrigue with the background colors. But the reality is visual will always get you so much more. Video, especially 288% more open rate in an email if you have video compared to a regular email, which a good open rate's 20%, 288% more. So there's a reason you want to think about the type of technology you're using. And I'm going to highly encourage video. Absolutely. You want to think about the purpose, the call to action. What is it I'm trying to get people to do? That is critical, because if you don't tell them what to do, they don't do anything. Just because you have your name and your phone number doesn't mean they're going to call you. As a matter of fact, they're probably not going to call you because most people don't want to call you. Good morning, Miss Amanda. So your post has to be specifically planned out. Who am I trying to reach? What is my goal? Why am I doing this? And with that goal comes, what do I want them to do next, right? And then what technology I'm going to use to get that message across, and what platform am I going to choose to post it to? Those are things that you should really be thinking about when you're posting. Now, has everybody in this group have a site that is posting automatically for you for real estate information? Who do you use, Amanda? Okay, Hootsuite, is it giving you content? That's the thing. Who is posting for you with their own content about real estate for you? Anybody in this room have anybody? Well, those are some of you who are on that have done this with me before. We're going to hop over here and hop online, and I hope you guys can still hear me, and if not, I'll just pull it off the screen. But we're going to pop in here, and we're going to go to a favorite of mine, In Stock. That was special. Did you guys hear that? That was really weird, right? In Stock Social. You guys ever hear of In Stock Social? No. You know why you haven't? Because it's free. These aren't people calling you to tell you to do it, right? Free things, you got to find them on your own. You'll hear about all these sites that want to charge you to do it, but you don't need to pay anybody, because In Stock Social does it for free. Now, you can link 3 platforms for free. Now, here's the thing. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. Oh, I created it just for people to be social. Yeah, whatever. He wants to make sure that if you want to use the business side of things, you actually have to pay. Now, let's go back really quickly. I know all of you guys are very, very, experienced. You understand the difference between a Facebook profile and a Facebook business page, right? Anybody have any questions on that? Because if you do, please speak up, because there's a couple things we need to talk about with that. Number one is for code of ethics. If you're posting, remember, if it is any kind of advertisement, your call to action tells you to call them for the best list, call me to get more information on the showing, for your private tour, whatever, that is an advertisement. There are 3 things that are required by the advertising laws by Florida Real Estate Commission. What are they? Anybody? Point of contact. Close, Amanda. She said address. Address is the point of contact, but it doesn't need to be the address. It has to be at least one point of contact. Phone number, email, address. I mean, why would you not use your phone number, right? But website, but it has to be a point of contact. That has to be adjacent, either above or below, to the brokerage name. Exactly, because the public has to be clear they're dealing with a real estate professional, and they must know who the broker of record is. So Premier Sotheby's has to be there. Now, what is the last thing that's required? Your name, Amanda, who's recently licensed here in Florida, because she's licensed in Virginia, Maryland. But it is your name, but it's your name is your license in DVPR. What does that mean? My name, anybody who's walked through any one of our doors knows that my name is not Carrie Prieto. That's a part of my name. It's the part I choose to go by. My name is Carolyn Pollock Prieto. God help me. So I do not have to use Carolyn. I could use Kiki. It doesn't matter. DVPR, don't start calling me Kiki. DVPR does.
Sounds like maybe that has happened in the past.
Actually, I knew a Kiki. And I always thought it was like, where did you get that, right? It is kind of cute, right, Kiki? I don't know. Yeah, no, that never worked for me. But DVPR does not care about the first name. They do not care about your middle name. So if you are Spanish, just saying, or someone from a culture that you take 2 languages, 3 last names, did you put your last name as a middle name when you file with DBPR, or did you add it as a second last name? Important to know, because you don't have to use your middle name. I sadly put Pollock Prieto as my last name. So that's why if you send me a document to sign, that's a legal document, any kind of listing or anything, and you fill it in for me that I'm going to sign Carrie Prieto, that's wrong. It's got to be Pollock Prieto. Nobody cares about Carrie, but they care about Pollock Prieto. So if I were posting something as an advertisement, I would have to use Carrie Pollock Prieto, Premier Sotheby's, and a point of contact. So crucial that you know about that. Now, Facebook has a rule about business posting too. Did you know it? Does anybody know what it is? No. Okay, so we're going to play along. Facebook does not allow you to post an advertisement on your personal page. Did you know that? If you do, and I had an agent, they got shut down because they don't want you to use it as a business page. It's for you to personally connect with your family and your friends. Yeah. So in order to comply with Facebook, you must first post any advertisement to a business page. The first reason you need a business page. And then you share it to your personal page. You can share anything, right? But it has to first be posted on a business page. Don't forget that, because Facebook will shut you down. And good luck trying to get back, and good luck trying to talk to anybody, because you can't. And the chat thing's terrible. So just to throw that out there. But that is a true story. Now, the other thing you really need to understand is, why else do we need a business page, right? Because anybody who's been in the business a long time, who started with Facebook business pages when they first opened, man, it was awesome. Anybody out there? It was so great. Let's say, now, of course, we know that in your Facebook personal page, that's where you get your friends, right? Mm-hmm. And your business page, that's where they like your business, right? Mm-hmm. But what used to happen is, let's say you had 100 people who liked your business page and you posted something. Guaranteed at least 10 of those people would have gotten your post on their timeline. It was awesome. Mm-hmm. Now, nobody. Like, nobody's going to get it, okay? It's like buried. Why? Facebook wants you to pay for it. That's the reality. They say it's for friends and this was really created for social, blah, 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 blah. They want you to pay for it. That's the reality of it. But we need it, A, because we want to post advertisements. So unable to do that, we have to share. The other reason we want to use the Facebook business page is because we can put a lot of cool things on there that we can't put in our regular page, like calls to action. We can add that there. We can show our properties under the services. There's a services tab, and instead of putting your services, you can actually list properties. Now, people ask me, Carrie, if I post something about a listing and it's on my business page, and on my business page, it says my name, it says my brokerage name, and it has my point of contact, my phone number. Why do I have to put it in the post? Because it's on the same page, they can see it. Anybody ever wondered that?
If it was reshared or reposted.
You're clever today, Miss Beverly. She's on. She wants some kind of prize. I don't have a gold star. Yes, that's exactly right. Because if it gets shared, I love Beverly's post. I share it. Now it doesn't have that information. And let me tell
You
you,
want it to have it.
well, not only do you want it to have it, it's a $500 instant fine. So they actually are mailing fines to people. Yes, true story. So don't get that $500 because it's not a check. It's a request for a check. It's not as good. So be very cautious about that. Make sure you're following those laws. Okay. The other thing, because this is really about using social media, but I can't help teach a social media class and not talk about this code of ethics. You know how many violations I see on a daily basis on social media? It's awful.
From our people?
No, if it was our people, we're having a conversation. No. It's other people that I know I don't want to be part of our people, but anyway. So
how do you see it? Why do you get to see it?
Well, is anybody in this group part of a realtor group? Anybody?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. We all are, right?
Yeah.
I try to avoid them, but yeah, we're all part of them.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, you think they're private, right? So this is what happens because you have to join, you have to request to join. So you think they're private. So you think that only the people in that group can see what you're posting. Not necessarily, guys. It depends on how the permission levels were really set up by the administrator. And a lot of people, when they're setting these things up, don't really understand the privacy settings, right? So these things could actually be visible by all parties, including FREC, just saying that. So you have, and I have seen, has anybody seen those little inner conversations when they're like, man, I'm so sick of those flat rate companies posting blah, blah, blah commission. And then the other person says, yeah, I know what you mean. And what kind of services are they giving? That commission. Okay, we just talked about commission in a public forum. Guys, that's Sherman antitrust violation stuff right there. That is beyond code of ethics violation, right? It's bad. Never, ever talk about commission in public. Don't put it on any public site. By the way, like you tell your kids, right? Don't put something out into the internet that you don't ever want to take back, right? Because good luck with that. Once it's out there, people can take a picture of it. That thing can go viral. Don't do it. You decide to run for president one day. You got lots of things in your closet. So I tell my kids, if you decide to be president, think about that. Every time you post, will it stop your election? So I would always think, would my grandma like to see this? However you want to look at it, it doesn't matter. But think about it before you post. The other big thing that's a code of ethics violation that I see all the time, not that we've ever seen this, but people in our industry complaining about other people in our industry. Oh, this agent, you know what they did? And they brought this and then they did that. Guys, that is a code of ethics violation. You are violating the section 15 of the code of ethics. We are not allowed to talk in a disreputable manner about other realtors.
Even if it's not by name, just in a general comment.
I mean, if it's not by name, you're skating gray. And I'm going to say this, my world is not gray. My world is black and white because I don't look good in the stripes and I'm not bailing you out. So play with me, be in the white or gray, right? Because yeah, it's like, coming soon this house, I'm not saying the address, but I'm standing in front of it. Would that be a NAR, clear cooperation violation?
Yes.
Yeah, they're looking to find those because you are now. The only way that it's not a clear cooperation violation is if you didn't have the listing agreement signed. But why would you do that? Because now you're telling other realtors you get a chance to get in here to try to get a listing at this property, right? So I'm just saying, that's just bad business, right? So you've got to think about those things. The other thing that you really got to think about is when you're sharing an experience that happened to a customer. Customers are highly protected by the code of ethics. We are not allowed to share any details about what happened, especially in a public forum. I see these things all the time. One other thing that I have Maria here. Maria, do you want to share with us what Regulation Z is?
No.
Okay, I will. Let's say I want to talk about you can buy this home with only $500 down and your payment will be $1,500 a month at a rate of 3% or whatever. Do I need disclosure?
Yes.
That's what we needed to know. Absolutely. Yeah, you cannot talk about rate. You cannot use the word rate, interest rate, and use a specific one without specific disclosure language. Now, if you want to post something like that, go to Maria. She'll give you the disclosure language. You put it underneath in the comments. As long as it's attached in the comments, it doesn't have to be in the top blurb, but it has to be in the comments, you are covered. But it is really imperative. Now, if I said just 500 down, is that a violation? No. If I said for as low as $1,500 a month, is that a violation? No, because I didn't talk about rate. Now, could it be deceptive practice if I'm talking about some crazy loan program? Because anybody with a normal mind would say, how would this $1 million property be $1,500 a month? Yeah, that could be deceptive, right? But other than that,
$957,000 down.
Exactly, it is possible.
It's the same with putting, like, starting at.
Yeah. Well, and builders do starting at all the time, but you can't say with the rate. Yeah, you can say like builders do on their signs, starting in the 300s. Right? They could do that, but you can't say starting at 1% because now you have to do a disclosure. Yeah, there's a specific language as part of regulations that you have to make sure that you get out there. I have seen a lot of those things too. Thank you for admitting. It only takes one time. Did someone catch it? Because I have emailed, I private messaged agents and said, you might want to take that down. That's a Regulation Z violation.
I'm not an agent, but I was going to hold open house for a builder, and I was just copying what they said.
Yeah, you just missed their disclosure that had in the bottom.
No.
Mhm. Okay, any questions about that, guys? Because it is imperative you understand that stuff. It may be boring, but it is so critical. And I don't know about you, but I don't really want to get that little love note from Freck that says you now owe $500. So make sure you're complying with 61J-2-10 because that is your advertising law.
How the hell did she know that?
Because I teach a social media class a lot. So it's really important that we understand the
I'm not a
advertising law.
lawyer, but I play one.
Yes, another TV. One other thing, which if you're using our websites, you don't have to worry about it, but a website has a special requirement. Does anybody know what the additional requirement for advertising law is? You have to state on your front page the states you're licensed in. Mhm. So that's another thing. Of course, and now we also have ADA compliance and all sorts of crazy lawsuits that are happening. As long as you're using our sites, they're all protected. If you have your own site, get with us because you might be getting a love note from an attorney who's trying to file all these ADA lawsuits, which really aren't to protect ADA at all. It's just to make money. And the National Association of Realtors is actually in fights with them. I'm going to give you another quick update, not social media related, so I apologize because this is a social media class, but it is confirmed that the National Association of Realtors is settling with Department of Justice about the lawsuit. So they are in settlement. We do not know all of the specifications on what that's going to entail. I do know a couple. Again, we're waiting to get the final word from NAR. They're going to be doing more. Clear cooperation will get a little bigger. Don't know how that's going to be, but that's going to be fun because that was one of the big parts of the DOJ lawsuit about making sure that the listings are available for everyone, right? And that's why NAR started the clear cooperation because pocket listings are not available to everyone, right? And so that's part of it. The other part of it that they're really working on, and we'll see what ends up happening with that, is that they're going to be allowing on a IDX feed as well, that there is clear knowledge to both parties, anybody looking, what the commission is being paid at. Interesting. But that was the part that they said buyers need to know how much the commission is because it's actually added to the price. And let's be honest, we understand if a listing is, they're thinking about their bottom line, they may be calculating that in there. They're still paying it. I don't know how they think them knowing that is going to help. Like they want to negotiate it out. I don't really
Does that
understand.
mean on the broker synopsis where y'all put that down?
No, it'll be
Show that
public
now?
remarks somewhere. It's going to.
Right, so instead of it
So
being
instead of it being in broker just for realtors, it's actually going to be in public remarks. Yeah, which is really scary.
First of all, it doesn't inflate the price.
And the other thing that they're saying is that we're not allowed to say our services are free to a buyer because they're saying they're not free because the
It's
seller
embedded. It's
has
embedded in the
included
price.
that cost. It's kind of like you get a mortgage, right?
Yeah.
People don't understand. You're going to pay somewhere for the service. Are you going to pay it as an upfront fee? Are you going to pay for it in the rate? Or worse, are you going to pay for it on both sides? But it's true. There's a cost of doing business and you're going to pay it somewhere. So the concept with this is there's a cost of doing business. There is a cost for representing that buyer. It's just usually absorbed by the seller. And now they're making that public. Do I like it? No, but we're going to deal with it. So we, again, don't have all of the ramifications of how that will play out. We're waiting for the final word. NAR's lawyers are all working with DOJ, super fun. But once we do have that, I will be wanting to bring that to you right forward and front. So
I wanted to go back to the
They should do
website.
that with the doctors also. They should do that with the doctors because at the end of the day, it's our insurance the one that pays the bill.
I
So
love
they
it.
should
Call
disclose.
DOJ. Kelsey, get on the
Can't
phone with
believe
DOJ.
it.
What did you want to say?
I can't
Scott?
believe it.
I just wanted to say,
That's a
you guys
violation, you know?
use your the PSER websites.
Yeah.
Because we are with the banks, it's so compliant. Like I can't post or do anything. It has to all go through our compliance, everything we do. That's why I was like, when you said Reg Z, I'm like, I don't have to worry about that because I'm not allowed to post anything.
Wow.
And so make sure you use, especially since you guys have such great content, great things that you can use, make sure you're using PSER stuff because
Yeah.
there's no reason to go out and reinvent the wheel. And especially from a compliance standpoint, you don't want to get involved with that stuff.
No, absolutely not. So excellent point. Thank you. So here we are back at Stock Social, bringing it on back to real estate. And so here you go. You would set up your networks and you log in. They're asking you questions. It's really for their marketing. Okay, doesn't matter. By the way, there is a paid version. I don't believe in paying for anything because if you know me, you know my motto is if it's free, it's for me. So that's my motto. But can you pay? I taught the social media class for all of PSER when I first joined. It's very funny. I was teaching a class and I introduced In Stock Social. And Maria Quintero said, okay, I understand that you don't pay, but can I pay? So she actually uses the paid version. You are welcome to do so if you choose. Just because I won't pay for it doesn't mean you don't. Okay. But one thing about Facebook, when you link Facebook to any auto posting site, whether it's giving you the content, you're creating the content, you need to understand that because it's about the social need, whatever, Facebook will not allow you to link anything to a personal profile. It must be linked to a business page or a group. So you could do a group or you could do a business page. But honestly, why do we have business pages, guys? Because we know that we put stuff out there and who's seeing it? Nobody, right? It's not really going on anybody's timeline. We could have tons of people, thousands of people who like us. Are they ever seeing our posts from our Facebook page? No, not from the business page. But, well, yeah, exactly. They're really down. But this is why we have it. Everybody today who was going to work with you is going to research you. And they're going to look on two places, right? They're going to see if you're on Zillow, God help us. They want to see your reviews, which is why, whether we like it, love it, or whatever, we need to make sure we do have reviews. Now that's changing as things move forward, but reviews are key. So we need to make sure we have good reviews, but they have to see that you actually do business. You could be a realtor for 30 years, but if you have no social presence, they don't know that you're a realtor. They believe like the media is actually telling the truth. Like, hello, it's what they see is what they believe. So the business page is critical that you have content that's not only good content, but it's constant content. The number one problem with realtors that I see about their social media is it is not consistent. Consistency is critical. You must be consistent. That's how you build a sphere, right? So that's the whole point of social media. We want to increase our sphere organically. That's the idea. Because where else can you get in front of so many people worldwide that you never would have had access to before, right? Or you'd have to spend a fortune in marketing dollars. And here it's free. You know, for example, I was doing a Facebook Live with Tasha up in Ocala on this really interesting haunted house, but it's a totally another story. And I was doing a Facebook Live open house or walkthrough, whatever it was at that time. I don't remember. And I had the broker from India on, the broker from Colorado on. That is awesome. I mean, how cool is that? We have brokers from other countries. Now, why am I connected to the broker? Because they're Sotheby's, because I made connections, especially at G&E. But, you know, so you have to make those connections, but that's great. And because I used Facebook's mode of preferential contact, Facebook wants you guys to go Facebook Live. You know that, right? And they're going to give you extra boosts in your algorithms to make sure that that Facebook Live gets seen. That's why your friends get notified. Oh, Carrie's going Facebook Live right now, right? That's awesome, guys. So use it. That is the key. But remember, that business page still has a place, and it needs to have really good content that people can say, wow, she's posting every day. Anybody in this room have time to make sure you're posting every day? I am.
No.
Nobody does, right? I mean, if you do, we really going to talk about your, what you're doing for business, right? Because the other thing about social media is it's the #1 time waster. I talk to agents that'll say, well, great. What does your activity normally look like? I really encourage you to journal your day, especially agents who feel like I should be doing more. I say, Dawn, this is not you. Don't journal your day. You don't even have time to breathe. But most agents, I encourage you, journal your day. See where you're finding your time is going. And if you're finding multiple hours on social media, that's not working. Okay. Unless you're out friending other Sotheby's agents and you're out looking for content that you're going to give to a customer, which I guarantee you might have started with that. That might have been your first purpose. And then an hour later, you're like, where did the time go? It is the #1 time killer. And that is a time waster. So we have to be consistent, but how do we do that and not get sucked into the drama of whatever's happening in your timeline, right? Auto posting. That is the way to do it. So,
Does that affect your algorithm?
well, not if it's on your Facebook business page, right? I mean, where is it going anyway? Yeah, right.
Can you make your-
Because you know how like there's
If people don't like it enough, they bury it even more. So you're talking about?
no there's like hashtag experts
Yeah,
things
yeah.
that you can get, and supposedly if you use them, like for Instagram, for instance, Instagram's algorithm can pick up on the fact that you're using a fake supplier or hashtag, and they'll bury your content.
Well, also on Instagram, you could buy friends, right? How long did that last before they were able to figure that one out too? So you're right, but this isn't fake. You're giving good content. It's real estate related. And so you see, I'm posting to my Facebook business page, your real estate coach, my Twitter account. Guys, I tweet all the time. I'm never on Twitter, never. But it is important to have, now who's on Twitter? Let's talk about that real quick.
I like you though, because I use Buffer, and I have a question about that. Compared to this.
We're going to talk about Buffer. You're going to use both.
But but yeah, so whenever I post my content, I obviously post automatically on Twitter, but I never actually go on Twitter.
Yeah. So since I personally don't care about really connecting with people on Twitter, I just want to have a presence. That's the point of it. I actually feed to Twitter, but
From Facebook?
from InStock Social.
Oh.
From InStock Social. So when something is posted in InStock Social, it will post to my Facebook business page. It'll post to my Twitter. And to be honest, I've changed this around. I used to post it to different places. Now I post it to my LinkedIn because I've actually gotten more content confirmation and, hey, this is great content, Carrie. Because I thought that was great. So honestly, I switched it to LinkedIn because I was impressed. I was getting more reactions from that as well. So that was great. But again, who's on Twitter is business professionals. They want short information fast. That's what they want. So if you find that you have an audience on Twitter, make sure your content really is geared for that. Does my audience really live on Twitter? My audience is you guys. It's agents. Do they live on Twitter? No, they don't. So I'm not going to really spend a lot of time on Twitter, right? Does someone have a question? Okay, so you want to link all three, and then you go into solutions. We can do that. And yep, see, they have packages that you pay for. No, I go all the way to the bottom where it says free content, always free. That's my favorite word. Oops, I lost it. Where'd I go? Moved it with that picture. Let's go back up there. So the cool thing is you can say configure, and this is where you can choose how frequently you want it to post for you. I have a chat. Who's in my chat? Can Maria share the disclosure with us? Oh yeah, Maria, can you put, yeah, she'll share it with us. You want to put it in the chat box?
I'm not sure,
Oh, she's not on. Oh,
but I
Okay.
can send it to you.
she'll send it to me and I'll send it out as an email. Okay, so this is where you decide how frequently do you want to post. Now listen, this is your business pages, right? So for me, I want them to see that I'm doing business every day. So I post daily. Do I want it to require my approval? Well, heck no. What's the point of auto posting? If it's me, I barely can even answer an email, never mind check what I'm posting on social media. I say no. If you're the person who's like, well, I want to know everything that's going out, I highly recommend just check it every Monday. It'll show you the whole week's content of postings that they'll do, and you can switch them. So we'll look at that in a second. But that's my recommendation. Do what you want to. And then let's go back. This is the coolest thing. This started like 2 years ago. It used to be really fresh and new, but nobody knows about Inside Social, so it's fresh and new for you. So they now link it to your MLS. How cool is this? So you have to connect it to your MLS, and when you have a new listing, it's back on market, an offer was accepted, maybe a price decrease, an open house, whatever you select, it will auto post that information with your house for you. That is incredible, guys. And it's
And that's
free.
free?
That's free. Yeah. Now, what's not free is if you want to add a custom message in your signature. I don't really care. But again, it's up to you. You want to pay money, pay money. I don't need that. I don't find that. 3 accounts for free. If you want to add more, that's what you pay for. Okay, so that's part of that. Then when you look, and you can see also, you can create your own auto content here. That's another part of the paid version. But you see, this is what I'm talking about. So listen to your heart, buy a house. Oh, that's cute. But if I didn't like it, I can disapprove. You'll also say the kind of content. I like things with humor, because, you know, I consider myself partially comedian. I like, you know, it's just like, she's funny. 10 clever ways to convince your spouse that it's time to buy a new home. Good content, right? Before and after pictures. Who doesn't love that? So they have a lot. You know what else they do a lot of? Back off, my clients gets this house. Listen, I think this is good content. I don't have a problem with any of these. But if I did, I would click disapprove, and then it would switch it out for me.
I just went on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to do it?
Yeah. Well, why it says it's for realtors is all the content is real estate related, but you're a mortgage broker.
So if I
Wow.
email you, do you use like your research? Because I have like.
No. When I logged in, I linked it to Facebook. I logged in through Facebook. I'm going to link Facebook anyway. What do I care? Right. So that's how I looked at that.
Terry,
So-
is there an advantage?
What?
Is there an advantage using, for example, on Buffer? I have been
Uh-huh.
using Buffer, but it does limit me to 10 posts a month. So
Buffer's
if I want to
limiting
be,
Oh, you're saying if you're on a month?
yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah, that's weird because I use Buffer all the time and I'm not limited. When did you start Buffer?
Okay, like 2 weeks ago.
What?
But
Oh, that might be a
I
problem.
haven't been limited yet. They just limited the number of accounts so far. So,
Yeah,
but
no,
if
no,
I
it's not
let's say if
supposed
I
to be
decide,
count.
okay,
What was
so
that?
if I decide to pay for Buffer, isn't it just better for me to pay here to
No, you're not
have
going
more?
to pay for Buffer. You're not going to pay for Buffer either. Buffer is free. So I'm going to
I
share
know,
that.
but I
with
have more than 3 accounts.
Right.
That's
So
my
use 3
problem.
accounts here and 3 accounts on Buffer. And this is the reason, guys.
Okay.
This is an auto poster for you. You don't have to think about it. So places that you just want to have a presence, but you really don't care necessarily about what content they're doing, those are the accounts you're linking. Then there's accounts that you're going to want to care more about that content. You want to be the creator of that content. That's why I use Buffer, because Buffer is an auto poster, but it doesn't give me the content. I have to add the content. So great question. We're going to go in there real quick. Does anybody have a question about InStock Social? I'm going to encourage you, if you have not used it, sign up today. It will start posting for you tomorrow. Any questions on
Okay.
InStock Social?
One more question. So for me to add a personal message or for me to add hashtags, am I allowed to add hashtags here?
No, you have to pay for that. You could add it to your special message, but
then I can kind of just go on my post, edit, and then copy paste my hashtags, and that's it, right?
right. But again,
Okay.
if it were me, I would be using the hashtags in my Buffer. So this is for the
Okay.
pages that you want to build, but you don't want to put time into. Listen, how many people actually go to my Facebook business pages? I have a couple of them, but probably not a lot. But I want to make sure I have good content, right? Especially for you guys, because if someone's going to go and see, is she doing business? Is this person really a good realtor? They're gonna make an assumption about you and your business by what they see, and part of that is how frequently you post. It's true. Does anybody disagree with that? I mean, it's true. So we have to understand there's two parts of using social media. One, it's being able to use social media to get the best out of the algorithms, right? That's on the platform side. But two, it's really what is the consumer, that customer, what are they thinking about the social media, right? They're looking at it from a very different perspective, which is why when you post, you have to think about that. What would be interesting to them? Not what's interesting to you, but what would be interesting to them. For example, back to the question of what's the best time to post. Okay. It depends on who you're posting to. So, for example, let's say I have a group of moms in my group, which is not unbelievable because I'm a mom of 3 kids, right? So I have a lot of moms on my page. Surprise. So if I'm posting to a mom, am I going to post at 8 o'clock when they're getting their kids ready for school? Well, right now I'm not posting anytime during school because if they're doing the homeschooling, God help them, like they're like MIA, you know. So am I going to be posting at dinner time? No. Would I post at nap time? All day long, right? I know the nap time. Any mom knows a good nap time. They know that that's when they hop on their social media, right? After bedtime, after bath time, I'm posting to my moms, right? Are you in the tub like me with your glass of wine? That's the time to post that Zillow ad. That was hysterical. So that's the thing. It's knowing who. Now, if you have a group of millennials that are, young professionals that are on your page, am I posting at those times? No, they're out probably at the bar or something having some fun, right? I'm going to be posting during the day because they look when they first wake up, they're looking. They look when they first get to work, which I don't understand because, right, like aren't you supposed to be working? But that is a really good time to post millennials. Lunchtime is another good time, and apparently 3 p.m. Yeah, 3 p.m. is a really good time. I don't understand that one, but like what everybody has to take a 3 p.m. break. But I do have a cup of coffee at 3 p.m. So maybe that.
It's a crashing. So
it's exactly.
So
but
this is a dumb question.
There's no such thing as a dumb question.
So-
There really is. Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, I'm just not good at this stuff.
No,
So
no.
You're posting, I just did my little Insta
Social.
I've got my Facebook and my LinkedIn, but the Facebook only goes to my business page,
Correct.
right? How do I get it to go to do I have to
You'd have to
set up-
manually, you'd have
Oh,
to share.
You can't set up an automatic.
No, because Facebook will not allow any auto posting to a profile page.
Oh.
That's a Facebook thing. Yeah, they won't allow that. But what they do allow is you to link together your Instagram and your Facebook personal page. So Instagram and Facebook, because they control both, right? Oh, while we're talking about that, let me ask you, does anybody know, is YouTube owned by Facebook?
It's going by Google.
It's
Yeah,
Google. Are Google and Facebook best friends?
No, they're not.
No.
No, they're not. They're competitors. So if you are like, oh, I want to post a video, Carrie says videos are awesome to post, and you go and use a YouTube link,
Yeah, they're not gonna show.
they're going to bury that post. You never want to use a YouTube link in a Facebook post. Death. You want to upload your file direct into Facebook because A, it's going to continually play, which is great. And B, they're going to give it a much better algorithm because it keeps people on their page. Anything that takes them off of their page will get less algorithm boost than something that keeps them on their page. Because Facebook wants eyes on the screen, right? That's what they want. Yeah. Okay, so that's in Stack Social. Now we're going to go to Buffer. Now, publish. So I don't know if you use this one, Andrea, but publish.buffer.com is the free one. So I've been a member with Buffer, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. It's free because I don't pay for it. And it used to just be buffer.com. Well, if you go to buffer.com now, they set you up for a free trial. So clever. And then after like 14 days or something, they want you to pay. So you got to go to publish.buffer.com. By the way, when you do publish.buffer.com, you're still going to get some kind of free trial kind of thing. And in 14 days, you're going to get a message that's going to say, do you want to pay, blah, blah, to continue? And then underneath, the very tiny little words, it's going to say, no, I will continue with my free. You're going to click that. So you've got to be, looking for it. They hide it pretty well. Really, you'll notice it is in plain sight, but it's so much smaller and teeny tiny and on the bottom. Okay, so here's Buffer. What's the difference? Buffer does not give me content. I get the content for Buffer. And this is where I truly believe you need to have a social media content calendar. And so why? Number one, we're trying to grow a sphere, right? We want to add people to our influence area, right? So if I decide, and by the way, number two, it makes it easy for you to post every week. Because if you're like, I like, let's say Mondays, I sit down and that's when I'm going to set my auto posting, right? I'm every Monday at 9 a.m. I'm going to have my cup of coffee and I'm going to do my auto posting, whatever day, it doesn't matter. But let's say you decide that. Now you got to figure out, oh gosh, what content am I going to auto post all week? Well, now we have an issue, right? Because that's going to take you time. But if I know that on Mondays, I'm going to talk about Model Monday. And on Tuesday, I'm going to say Local Happening Tuesday. And on Wednesday, I'm going to do Wellness Wednesday. And Thursday, I'm going to say Live Large, do something about Sotheby's, something out international, whatever. And Friday, I'm going to talk about fun things happening for the weekend, right? Like maybe that's the content calendar I come up with. It'll make it so much easier to find content. Okay, what is Model Monday about? What am I using for Wellness Wednesday this week? And you can share content. You do not need to create every piece of content. But if you create content, you're adding content to the internet, you will get boosted, especially on your SEO. Now, that doesn't mean if I'm sharing, it's okay. That's good. But if I'm copying, I copy someone's post and I paste it, you will get dinged and they will get dinged. So don't copy paste direct from anybody. That's never a good thing. That's not original content. It's obviously, we all know plagiarism, right? And they know it too. You actually will lose points in your SEO factor. So if you want to build your SEO, there's a couple of things you need to think about. Here's a really crucial one, which I'm terrible at, guys, so don't follow me. I train on social media and I do things differently on social media because I'm using it for a different thing than you guys. So do as I say, not as I do. And the reason I say that is because my business page you saw there is called Your Real Estate Coach, right? My personal page is Carrie Prieto. I might be under LinkedIn or I'm under Instagram as Your Broker Carrie. Those are three completely different things. So when I'm posting, it's not registering that it's the same person. So I'm not building my SEO, which is okay for me. I'm doing this for a reason. But if you're out there, you want anybody who says, let's say you decide you're going to do lakefront luxury is your thing, right? Whatever. So you're going to do some hashtags, lakefront luxury. We're going to talk about hashtags in a minute. And you're going to want to make sure that you start to get known for that. Well, it's going to be critical that every time you're posting, there's something that brings up your name and lakefront luxury. So that way, if somebody searches lakefront luxury, if you get enough information out there, your name's going to start populating higher and higher and higher in that SEO, search engine optimization. It's a lot more complicated than that, but that is the basics. So one thing that will definitely kill your search engine optimization is if you use different names like I do. So you want to make sure that your Instagram, your Twitter, your LinkedIn, your Facebook, all of those things have your name exactly the same. Critical. If they don't, change your account because you're not helping your SEO, you're hurting yourself. First thing. Now, the other thing about original content, they love original content. I love original content. Facebook loves Facebook Live videos. So I suggest one day a week, it is your content. So yeah, I used to have something called Carrie's Corner, Carrie's Quick Tip. But that got old. So yeah, I was like, this is too much. I don't have time for this. I can't even answer my emails. Like, do I have time for Carrie Quick Tip? No, I don't. But if I really wanted to grow that, what could I do? I could pre-record a whole month's worth of videos and preset it in my buffer, and then it will go out every Monday if I want it to be my Monday. But you do get better algorithm boost if you post, if you go Facebook Live direct from Facebook. So I'm going to suggest if you say one day a week, and it doesn't have to be every day, that Monday that you go live, you might, some Mondays have that pre-recorded. It's okay, but the most you could go live, the better. But let's say I wanted to make my model Monday. So every Monday I'm at a new model and I'm videotaping going live. I would do it at the same time if you can, because that's how you build an audience. Now, what else can I do with that content? A lot, right? So I'm going to save that video and I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel. And I'm going to create sections, maybe not just Model Monday, but, lakefront models or new, modern model, or however you want to break it up, right? Models by parts of town, whatever. That is a great way to build a YouTube channel while building your social media, right? And your Facebook. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that YouTube now and I'm going to add it into Active Pipe. And I'm going to create a little fun Monday or Tuesday thing that I send out after the Monday that's going to have my latest video. And I'm going to add that to my sphere and what I'm sending out as part of my touch plan, right? Using Active Pipe. I have a template set up and I just throw the video in. But the only way to get the video in is if it's either YouTube or Vimeo, right? So I'm not going to use Vimeo. I'm going to use YouTube because I want to grow my YouTube profile. Also, what else can I do with that? Well, I can take my business page and I can change the video on the front of it. So if I'm over here, let's go into my Facebook. Slowly but surely. All right, let's go to my business page. Good God, this is so slow.
While that's loading.
Yeah. 20 years later, yeah.
So you're not linking your Instagram to either one of your.
I do. We're going to talk about that though. Yeah. You're going to see I have 1 billion profiles. Here's another thing, and I think I probably covered it with everybody here, but just to go over it, or if you're new with me that we haven't spent time on social. And it's not probably you, Rafe, but it's probably more some lovely ladies that would be more affected by this. But the other big thing about Facebook especially, but any social media, is realtor safety. Not to say you have to be worried, you do too. But realtor safety is huge. So you have to always remember, we can't be undercover agents. We need people to see who we are. We also, by the way, need to be authentic. The first way to kill your sphere is by not being authentic. People will find that out real quick and you'll lose all your followers. So always be authentic, but you have to be careful about the stuff you're showing. I mean, people will target you based on the things that you're putting out there. So you might look fabulous in a bikini, but please don't put it on your Facebook, right? That is, first of all, are you going to be getting trust from a woman, the wife of the husband? They're both selling a home that's 3 million. You want that listing. Is she going to feel great about your wonderful bikini shots? Probably not. Number one, right? Number two, those creepazoids who are out there might be like, ooh, Beverly's looking good in that bikini. I think I need to buy some real estate, right?
That happens to me.
Sorry, Rafe. I did know it was you. I just didn't want to call you out. So if you have a page like that, I'm not saying you can have a page like that. I'm going to say don't use that as your profile, your personal profile. I have my personal profile that I share with family in Colombia that I have family on. And then I actually have my business personal profile. If you notice, there's not a lot of personal things on my personal page for a reason. I don't want a lot of people knowing all sorts of stuff about me. Now, especially when you're dealing with the buyers and sellers, they need to feel that they can get to know you and learn you and trust you. So it is important to share some personal things, but what personal things? That should be up to you to decide. So, it's not a bad thing if you want to create a new personal
I was
page.
just gonna ask, will that look kind of suspect though, since it's gonna be, I just got creative page in 2021. But no, it doesn't matter.
I don't think it matters, and you can invite the friends. This is the other thing. There are two things we never talk about, right? I mean, I hope, dear God, we all know about it. What are the two things we never talk about?
Religion.
Yay, religion and politics. Don't talk about them because
Absolutely.
you will be wrong to somebody, right? You can never be right. So that is, we all are allowed to have an opinion and everybody has one. And we don't want to be in conflict with someone's opinion and lose a fabulous $3 million listing because they didn't agree with our political views. But if you got Uncle Tom who keeps posting on your page about his political views and you love him, you don't want to kick him off your page, another reason to start a new profile. Because remember, they're going to create a whole impression about you based upon what they're seeing.
So do I need to make this
Mhm.
personal page that I have right now, make that private?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
That's what I did.
My personal page. I completely made private.
Yep.
I
At
don't
least
never
on
have anything on there
And then I
that's
have my
out
own
of the way,
personal.
so.
If you don't have anything, listen, I just
mean,
didn't
it's
want all the
just
stuff about
personal
my
stuff.
kids on there.
Yeah,
I didn't want all
exactly.
that out there
Personal.
because the way I use my business, my profile is a little different than other people, right?
Mhm.
So I didn't want that on there. But if you don't feel that there's anything, you feel comfortable with everything you have on that page, no problem. Keep doing it. It's not a bad thing. I just want you to know you can always create a new business personal profile. right? And not to say you wouldn't share personal things on there, but I'm just saying, especially there's people, you know, who maybe, like I said, that may be friends on your page that are very vocal and you feel bad about kicking them off your page or taking them off your timeline. Also, if you do have those
Right.
people, have a timeline review.
Yeah. I have that.
Timeline review is
You can't
huge.
share
If
it.
everybody's wondering why I don't, oh
Yeah.
gosh, I've had it
Me
as soon as I
too.
had Facebook. You
Yes.
kidding me? I was like, no.
Mm-mm.
People sharing pictures of what?
Tagging.
No, no, no.
Right.
Mm-mm. I must approve everything, which is why I have like thousands of things in my review folder, which I've never approved because I don't have time to even look at it. But it doesn't matter. There's just certain things you have to do to protect yourself. Okay, now here we are at a business page, which is not my business page. What page am I on? Referrals only. I went to a different page. That's weird. What the heck? That's super weird. I can't even see what I'm doing here. Come on. Your real estate coach.
Creating a group, like a social.
Yeah,
group.
let's talk about that too. Okay. So are we still on here? Yeah, we are. Everybody still there? Okay, we got everybody there.
Yeah.
This so super slow. I'm like, hello, can we get there? All right, so here we are, your real estate coach. So I have a video, I have this video, but see here, you could change this video at any time and you could put your latest video of your model Monday. You could put your latest video for your new listing. You can put whatever you want. You should be changing that a lot. The other great thing about your business page is you can change right here what I want to say as my call to action. So I'm in my obviously editor mode. I'm not seeing this as a customer, but and edit send a message. If I don't want to say send message, I could say sign up here. And maybe I create that newsletter that I'm doing in Active Pipe where people can sign up to see more Model Mondays. This is a great way to catch a list of people. I could use this. They have call now, send text messages. There's a bunch of, you can edit all of these calls to action and where you link them. You can edit your button. You can chase what you wanted to say. So this is a really cool thing. If you can get people over to your business page, it's a great way for you to be able to capture some business. So see, they have tons of them on here. Book now, I don't think we'd use that, but you could do book a showing if you're using a listing, right? So that's what I'm saying. As soon as you watch video, maybe it brings you over to the YouTube channel where you have more model stuff, right? So again, you could use these buttons, use app, right? We have some cool apps. Sotheby's has a great app. You might want to have it linked to your Sotheby's app. So there's a lot of really fun things that you can do with a business page that you cannot do with a personal page. The other thing that we were talking about here is you could look at your services page. So you can change all of these things, these buttons here, and you can change what you wanted to say. So let's go to, let's see, Erica's probably never changed her page. Lord knows, she's so cute. Erica Puccini probably still has all the same stuff. Puccini, let's see. Oh, and I should have gotten her realtor page. Hold on, please hold, because it's really slow, yeah. Erica Puccini, Realtors, the one I want. Okay. Oh, I got another really good tip too about posting. All right, we're gonna go over here for a second, maybe, maybe not. Hello, where is it? Can we get there? Thank you. All right, so we're gonna go to her page. She's so cute. She probably has not updated this at all. So, yeah. So here we go. On her page, still loading. It's taking forever. Well, she has usually a services button. Oh, maybe she took it off. Oh, she's so funny. She actually did. I'm proud of her. So she used to have her services button where she used to list all of her listings, and you could see the listings, but you couldn't share them. So you didn't need to have the information, the 3 things, because it was on her business page that had it and it couldn't be shared. So that's another really cool thing that you can do as well. All right. The other thing I want to talk about is right here. So here we're on a business page. Now I wouldn't do it on Erica because she doesn't do much, but like you want to do a Facebook business ad, right? You want to do an ad campaign. Don't do anything general. By the way, when you market to everyone, you market to no one. So if you're going to do a Facebook business ad, you have to do a very specific thing. Who am I trying to reach? What do I want them to do? What do they need to get? What are they going to get when they give me their information? And where am I going to send them after as a thank you? Those are the things you need to think about. So if you're going to do that and you want to see what kinds of ads actually work, you could go to any business page. It doesn't matter the business page. And I highly recommend going outside of our industry. You know, checking other luxury dealerships, checking other, you know, there's all sorts of really cool things you can check. But they have this thing called page transparency now. And when you click on this, it'll show you all of the business ads that they're running and how well they're doing. And you can get an idea what kinds of things work. What are things that people are engaging with? So you don't have to spend money guessing, right? You can try and see what people are doing that works. So that's a great thing. Like Delroy Gill. Anybody who's not a friend and following his business page of Delroy Gill, he's from Live Sotheby's. He's fabulous on social media. You want to be going to his page and seeing what's working because he's got a lot of great tips on there that he's not giving to you as a tip, but they're out there for you to see. You just got to look, right? So I would say we all have our favorites. Go there, learn from them, pick and see what you can use. And really, when you're thinking about that Facebook business campaign, there's another really cool thing you can do. Now, we can use Boost. Boost is awesome because Boost goes across multi-platforms. It does Facebook, Instagram, but it also does Google Ads. It does AdWorks. So there's a lot of really cool things that it does in addition to if you did a Facebook business ad, it's just Facebook and Instagram, right? But a cool thing you can do in a Facebook business ad that you can't do in Boost unless they've changed it is add a custom audience. If you're adding your custom audience, you can actually have downloaded the community that you're farming, download all the contacts from Remind, with all the old emails, with all the phone numbers that we don't know if they work. You upload the list direct into Facebook and they will try to find them. And the more points of contact that are listed, the better chance you'll have they will find them. So that's a really cool thing about a Facebook business ad campaign. Another great thing about a Facebook business campaign, the reason Facebook lost the lawsuit against Fair Housing, if you guys remember, they were sued twice, which really was a bummer because they took away so many of our wonderful targeting things. Damn it. But it is what it is, right? However, the reason they lost, Facebook said, I'm not liable for what people are posting. And they said, yes, you are, because you're collecting their data. True story. We know they collect the data. Do they share the data with us? No, but they collect it. So that can be used to your benefit. If you are posting your content, your Model Monday on Mondays, or we've got Real Estate in 60 Seconds by the Romans. They do that, I think, on Tuesdays. Whatever your content's going to be, and people start watching it and you start getting followers, it actually has a button under your custom audience to select anybody who has viewed your videos. So now you're adding people to that bucket. You know exactly. So if you're going to do that, obviously you're going to post some kind of video, right, in your ad campaign. But it's a great way to get in front of people that are already watching. And this way you can start growing that sphere even more organically, sort of, because we're really getting it through Facebook's information. You won't ever see who they are, but they will put your ad in front of those people. So if you're trying to retarget people who might want to buy a new custom home, because you keep doing custom homes, because another good thing, if you're going to do a content calendar, I'm going to suggest themes of the month. So if I'm doing Model Monday, maybe my themes of March is going to be custom model homes, custom homes, or maybe I'm going to do homes with great backyards, or I'm going to do, barbecue June or whatever, right? But it makes it fun for you. It makes people listen. Think HDTV. When you're going to create your own content, what do people love to watch? Think about how many real estate shows are on HDTV now. It's insane. People are addicted to it, right? They love it. Do they learn anything or know anything really about it? No, because if they did, they wouldn't love it so much. But they love the content. So those are the things you got to think about, right? But the really cool thing is if you're doing it by theme, now we know we have all the people who added who saw all of our stuff on March about custom homes. So now I might do an ad campaign about great deals. Give us your information for the best list of the newest communities, custom homes that are opening. You know what? If we just know that they watched all your custom home videos, they may actually give you your information. Where do you have that? You create a list, either on your site, you create a page on your website. I can help you with that. That's how you can create a really hyper targeted campaign. And you know it'll get in front of all the people who watched your videos because you're using the custom audience and you're selecting that. If you're doing a farming thing and you're farming Eagle Creek and you're going to do something about Eagle Creek, you've uploaded that whole system online. My ad campaign is going to be about stats in Eagle Creek. Click here to download your market report, your free Eagle Creek market report. Listen, if it's in front of homers at Eagle Creek, they might give you their information, right? And then where am I going to send them? To see what your neighbors have sold for. I'm going to send them back to my website where I created a search of all sold homes in Eagle Creek with how much is your home worth, right? One of those pages. Another opportunity. Always make sure wherever you're sending them has lead capture. So we're just about over. So we've covered a lot. Like I said, my class is normally 3 hours. So we haven't covered a fraction of what I normally cover. So I do the CE classes. They're CE credit. I have hosted one here. I will host another one here. So you guys can come and do it online or come in person, and you will also get CE credit. So that's a cool thing too. So I'll be happy to host another one. Okay, so we've got, how does Buffer different from Planoly? Okay, great, April. Planoly is for Instagram. Really, it's a better one for Instagram. It's kind of cool because that includes the hashtags, so it allows you to really kind of focus on your hashtag journey and what you want to constantly be adding to your hashtags, where Buffer doesn't. You could add it into Buffer, but it doesn't include that. How many profiles do you have? Do you have groups? How many? Dawn, I'm sorry. How many? I can't really read that. Can you guys read that? Facebook profiles do you have? Do you have groups? Okay. I have a lot of Facebook pages, but for different reasons. But I use my business page and my business profile, and Facebook groups. This is another thing I'm going to suggest. Part of a content calendar, part of a social media plan, if you ask me, is being able to create that sphere, right? To get more people. That's the whole idea. So if there's something you're truly interested in, it can't be something you're not interested in. If you're interested in fashion, if you're interested in cars, if you're interested in traveling, if you love to boat, whatever it is that you're actually doing, that this is something that's not a chore for you, you're going to search in Facebook under groups and see what other groups they have that are like that. Then you're going to come up with your own twist on that subject, right? Now you're going to start building that page, adding some really cool things about fashion, about cars, about boating, about whatever it is. And then you're going to also join those groups, okay? Join a couple of those groups. And the reason you're going to do that is because once your page is sort of built up a little bit, you're going to go and private message each of the members. You create a little message. I see that you loved historic cars. I just started a new page about restoring historic cars. I'd love to get your opinion on it. Listen, people love to give their opinion, right? So you message everybody in little messages. You got to copy paste a lot. Well, that brings people to your page. And now you get people, make sure your page is public, make sure people can post on their own. And I had an agent, she said, well, I'm really focusing on divorcees right now because I'm working with it. I'm like, no, not a good Facebook group. Yeah, people will love to go in there, but you're going to have to constantly monitor that content. Don't make it anything you got to work on. Make it something. Here's an example. I had an agent, Becky. She's so cute. She's like, Carrie, I don't know what to do. I said, Becky, your husband is a fireman. That's like a whole thing. Like they have their own, way of life. It's like a, like a fraternity. So why don't you do something about that? So she did firefighting families. And before she knew it, she had all these people posting fire hydrant pictures and all sorts of crazy things. She's like, but everyone's commenting and loving it. She's like, I never would have thought of any of that. But now how do you sprinkle in real estate? This is it. She also gets a lot of referrals from firefighters. Of course, right? So when she hosted an open house, she said, hey guys, if you can come in the area or hop on the virtual open house, let's support our brother, firefighter so-and-so. We're having an open house for him. Share it on your pages, right? And everybody does that. Awesome. If you're doing it about, health and wellness, when you're in a model that has a fabulous gym, that's what you're going to add to that group page. Who wouldn't love to stop going to the gym and just wake up, roll out of bed and come into your own gym? You're tying real estate into the idea, but it can't be, when you're thinking like they say 80-20 on your group page, it's like 95-5, right? You want people to be engaging and interacting and giving fun content in the group so that there's activity. But you don't want to be constantly real estate, because as soon as they see that, they're out of the group. But if you sprinkle it every so often in there, what you're sprinkling in has to relate to what you're talking about. But remember, it's tied to your business page, right? So they know you're a realtor. It's just a great little reminder, right? But again, you're not in your face. Okay, so that's what I suggest there. How do you share luxury outlook on social media? Well, Andrea, that's something that you can actually take the URL from that post and put it in there, or you can do it, put that, embed it into your page like I did, and then just take the URL from the page and post it into social media. I can show you guys how to do that real quick if you want. What do I have down here? How many Facebook pages can I have? There's
I
no
have them
limit
on
to how.
Insta-
What was that? You want to share it on
so
Instagram?
it would- yeah.
That's a tougher question because I don't
Can I
know that.
screenshot? Like, do screenshots?
Well, one thing I'm going to share about Instagram, and I know we're a little over, so I hope you guys can bear with me for a second. Yeah, but you can. Linktree, that's exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Let's do Linktree though. Linktree, because I did it there, so that's cool. All right, so hold on. Why is it not opening?
You can't post it as like.
Can I log into my Linktree? Hold on, guys. Give me a second. Just logging in. For some reason, I'm unlogged out. Did I log myself out? Log in. Oh my gosh. This is like so slow, right? Like, is it even working? I don't even know. Oh God, I already have an account. Oh, like I have to know this? Are you kidding me? Why is it not? Where's my Instagram? Broker. Oh. Is that what happened? Oh, so annoying. I'm glad I didn't do this live because I'd have been really frustrated if I did it with another one. All right. Hold on, I'm gonna share the screen. I'm just gonna do it right from my Instagram. Where is my screen share? There it is. Okay, everybody with me. We're hopping over here to my Instagram, Broker Carrie. Again, not building my SEO very well. But if you'll notice, we have one opportunity of a link in your profile, correct, on your Instagram. So if you link this to Linktree, which is free, what this does is it allows you to create as many links as you want. So notice, Andrea, your free 2020 luxury outlook. Click here. That is one of the links I have added to my link tree. And boom, it takes you, it's really not boom because it's like boom. It's so slow, but eventually anticlimactic it is, but it will take you to my page on my website where I embedded it. What's great about Linktree is it also connects when you do Clubhouse. Do I have any Clubhouse people out there? Are you on Clubhouse? I mean, you need a private invite. You know, I'm on Clubhouse.
If
You know, you have to
need me to
know
invite
someone.
you in.
But if anybody wants, I can invite you. Beverly can invite you. I think we get 5 people, and then we have to
Yes.
work. So I don't know. I don't know. Actually, a lot of people have been liking because there's a lot of good content on it. Yeah. It's got a lot of good content. You go in the room and they have all sorts of talks and things. It's great. Actually, Tasha's getting a lot out of it. But see, Andrea, here's my luxury outlook that I built right into this page. I have some videos here. And for more details on how Premier Sotheby's International Realty can elevate you, fill in the information below. Of course, lead capture, right? So this is how I bring them to that from my Instagram. And then if I wanted to share this on social, Facebook rather, I just copy that URL. I don't do it on Erica's page, although she would be happy if I did. But I come over here. Also, make sure that nobody can post on your page. Make sure that you have that security in there, because if you don't, it's not super good. All right, hold on. Oh, good God. Create post. Did it work? Okay. And there it is, your luxury leader. Oh, it shows my picture. Isn't that
Wow.
lovely? And I could say, for your free 2021 luxury guide, click below. And I post it. And boom.
Is that page, because obviously you took that from your website, so is that page?
Yeah. You can copy the book. Yeah, I think you can copy the book and the videos. The way you post it in, you guys can go to my page if you wanted, which is here. And it's under Work With Us, and it's called Luxury Outlook 2021. You can go there, copy it, and create your own page right from there. The only thing, if you do that, you see my little face is going to be on your videos because I used it from my YouTube channel. The good news is I'm non-competing, so it doesn't matter. People will be like, who is that face?
I can just copy the top part.
Yeah, and then you could add your own videos.
Not that I
You don't want my face. Faith doesn't want my face. Okay, whatever. You don't have to want my face. No. But yes, absolutely. Any other questions? Please unmute yourself and come on board if you have a question. Yeah, Rafe, what you got?
With so with Buffer and
Mm-hmm.
the social one.
Uh-huh. In Stack Social.
So if you're just doing the 3 and you for the free,
Okay.
what is your recommendation as agents of the 3 that we should have?
Well, it really depends on you and oh gosh.
Matt,
No,
is
not
there something?
no, there's nothing, Siri. Okay. It's still on there. Can everybody hear me though? I hope so. So the recommendation of the 3 really depends on you and who your people are. You're a millennial, so definitely Instagram for you. I mean, that'd be silly not to be on Instagram. Facebook, honestly, guys, the reason I started studying Facebook is because I was so really confused as to how people really started feeling like they're creating relationships and they don't know you at all. That's why I started studying it because I thought, this is ridiculous. But at the same token, I saw the opportunity of it, right? So I really think that Facebook, because there's such a group, such a wide variety of people on there, I think Facebook is a good one for everybody. But if you want to work with investors, if you want to work in the high end, LinkedIn is a great place to be because that's where those people are. That's where those influencers are.
You mentioned LinkedIn. So I was thinking about switching LinkedIn to Twitter because like I did my announcement that I joined Sotheby's and I had over 5,000 views of that.
On LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you did, because people want to know those kinds of things on LinkedIn. Twitter, nobody cares. Twitter is that fast little market's up this month. This is what's happening today. Single family homes, average sales price is up, blah, blah, blah. That's your Twitter post. That's really all it is. Yeah. So there's so much more we can do on this. If you want, next week we can do an advanced social media class and we can delve in more. We can even talk about web, Chrome extensions and all sorts of fun things. Do you want to do social media part 2? Okay, so we'll do that next week. But if anybody else has a question or something they want to share, please unmute yourself. I'd love to have those questions answered for you. But if not, it was great seeing you all, sort of like your names and you guys here. And we will continue to social media. We'll do a more advanced version next week because we'll continue where we're at. And we're going to go into a little bit more in depth about some really cool things that we can do with Chrome extensions as well as social media. And one of my favorites, anybody out there using Pablo? Oh, gotta love me some Pablo. Okay, we're going to go into Pablo next week. Okay, Pablo's fabulous. So have a great rest of your day, guys. Wonderful seeing you. And give me a holler if you need me. Bye.